Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be doing a triple fairy team. So we have Xerneas, Zacian, and Primarina. Let's go. Primarina is going to have Surf, Disarming Voice, and Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump does come in handy a few times. For the Zacian, we're going to be going with Snarl, Wild Charge, and Close Combat. Not Quick Attack, that's okay. We're just going to go with this. Now, the reason why we are going with Wild Charge, we just needed coverage for a few different things here. So we definitely need the Primarina to protect us from steel types, or at least a Metagross. Now, it is going to be part water as well as fairy, so it is still going to be taking a decent amount of damage from the steel typing. So we do have to consider that, but it does work out quite nicely. Now, funny enough, the only fairy that is going to be able to really take on dragons is going to be the Xerneas here. The Primarina does have Disarming Voice, which is a decent fairy move, but it's not doing that much at the end of the day here. And it also does have Surf, which is, as you can see here, resisted by these dragons. So this person has 2 dragons, and I wouldn't say struggling, but you think with 3 fairies, I would be a lot easier or better off. Now, there is something else to consider. If I did have Charm, I would just be running over them, right? So, I mean, we could put Togekiss with Charm. We could even give Primarina Charm, but it is going to make us kind of vulnerable to say if we do run into, if we ran into an Excadrill, we have close combat on both of our fairy types, so I think we'd be okay there. It's just giving me a little bit of an edge. So with that said, let's see what we have going on here. 3 fairies, no charm. What do you know? All right, so we're met with the Zacian. It's just a fairy off over here. Going to go for that Moonblast, of course. And there are other moves that you could have on this. Make a Horn, I do believe it's, what else is the other one? Giga Impact, I think. I forgot what it was, but I definitely want to be going with these 2 here. Now, what I was encountering was very interesting. Now, this is pretty funny, though. Close combat, lower defense, they close combat. I survive. Let's go. And then they bring in Mewtwo. As far as what I was encountering, you're going to see this here. It's actually quite freaking interesting. So I have never seen a Keldeo in the Master League ever. So if somebody hasn't maxed out, that's possible. You know, if somebody focused on Keldeo with their XL candies that they do get from the raids. Yeah, I can see that happening. It's this when the people have multiple of them. It's like, nah. But you're going to see what happens here. It's going to have Poison Jab. I was like, yeah, really? Yeah, well, I'm not surprised at all. So we're up against a Ho-Oh here. Now, it's not all rainbows, because yeah, this thing does take a lot of damage still coming from that Sacred Fire. They're shielding up the Disarming Voice. We swap into the Zacian, getting to the Wild Charge. Now, this is another reason why I have Wild Charge here. If we had, say, Play Rough on the Zacian, then Ho-Oh would completely wall 2 of my Pokemon, the Xerneas as well as Zacian. But since we do have the Wild Charge, it is going to be able to give us a little bit more play in that situation, as opposed to just getting ran over. And then, of course, the Primarina does have the Waterfall, so we are going to be able to handle the fire types if we did have to encounter that. Mewtwo, Shadow, bringing in the Zacian to farm them down. Very good. And here you go, Ho-Oh, exactly. Now, I'm in a decent position here since we do have Wild Charge, building up to almost 2, swapping into Primarina since they let it go, and we're holding on to energy with that Zacian here. We are going to shield this up, Sacred Fire, and there's the Keldeo with Poison Jab. Now, going into this, I was thinking, if we are going to pull out a poison type, now is going to be the time. I'm going to see maybe a Nihilego, and here is the Keldeo with Poison Jab. So we did it. We got him. Other than that, there wasn't really anything out of the ordinary, I would say, as far as picking this team and the algorithm. I don't know. Maybe I needed to put Charm on there, and then we'd probably see a little bit of a shift in what we would see in the lead. But otherwise, it was pretty much business as usual, other than this here. Okay. And if you want to say, well, that's just a coincidence, I don't think so. I've never seen that one time. I only do Master League when it's here, when there's other leagues, and I've never seen that before until I had the 3 fairies. Now, all right, next battle. What do we got here? Landorus. Whatever. It's a whatever battle. We do have the Primarina with Water Quick move. That will be able to make quick work of it. get a little farm. So we're going to let that first Stone Edge go. Going for the Moonblast, doing a bunch. Now we can go for close combat at this point. We get there, but they're getting to another charge move. It's going to be a Stone Edge. I am going to let it go. Not tempted to go in here and farm downwards. Ooh, I do. Eesh. I'm going to let it go. It's another Stone Edge here. Nope, going for a superpower. It's okay. They didn't want me to get enough farm, and plus they want to hit me, bringing in a Melmetal. 2 shields still. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and throw 2 here before they get to a charge move. Swap into the Primarina and do a little bit of damage. Don't think we have to worry about a Thunderbolt. They're retreating with energy and bringing in a Dialga. Now we have 2 shields, and here goes the Disarming Voice. Let's see how this works out here. I was wondering how much damage it would do. It's okay. Now we have Waterfall. We could go with Charm, but if we encounter a Ho-Oh, it's not going to be looking pretty good, right? Getting to that Hydro Pump is one big task with Charm. All right, so the Melmetal is farming me down, but I was about to let that go to Flex. Thank goodness we didn't, because it was a freaking Flash Cannon. They would have had the last laugh there. Good game. Next battle, a Gyarados. I'm hoping for Dragon Breath. All right, we got Dragon Breath. Great. And this is interesting here, I suppose. It was doing a lot more damage than I was suspecting it would do. But Gyarados has always been able to hang with the best of them ever since it came out in Gen 1, Gen 2. It still maintained its relevancy. All right, so they have a Groudon here. Precipice Blades to the face. Damn, I wasn't expecting that. Unfortunately, I thought they were going to try to bait me. So that sucks. Okay, we did a decent amount of damage with our Waterfall, but not enough. Not enough. And we're going to go ahead and shield this up. And yes, of course, it's going to be a Fire Punch. I'm going to get to the close combat. And I don't believe this is actually enough here. All right, never mind. It is. It's just enough. And they do have a Giratina altered in the back. You know, I'm very tempted to power mine up. I have a couple of hundreds of these. I really want to, and it's actually pretty good in the Open Master League. The thing is, there is no Megas or anything like that. So I'm, you know, contemplating if I want to wait until it does get its shadow form, so I could invest in that, because I think it's going to be extremely good. Can you imagine? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm not going to power it up right now. I'm good with my Giratina Origin. Alrighty, so this is crazy. I had to call this. Check it out. Okay. I had to bait them first, and I was second guessing myself, like, damn, they're going to Shadow Claw me. I need to get to that. I need 2 more quick moves. And we shield this Dragon Claw, whatever. 1, 2, we get there. We played it perfectly. Taking the win with the 3 fairies here. Now, the Zacian's not all the way powered up. The Xerneas is. The Primarina is also powered up too. They're all best buddy, and I am going to be having the Zacian equipped because that one's the less powered up one. Alright, so we have a Metagross. One of the biggest threats to my team, I would say. But of course, we had to consider that was going to be here. And I can't be like, oh, the algorithm, right? Because I was waiting for a Metagross. It's just going to happen. So they bring in their Gyarados. They let the charge move go. We wild charge it, one-shot it. We close combated the Metagross as well. And we bring in our Primarina. So I'm going to shield this up because I'm not trying to farm them down with the quick move on Xerneas. That's not happening. And we take them out. What do they got in the back? It's a Snorlax, I do believe. All right, great. So we're landing that Disarming Voice. They're going to be able to farm us down here. Now, we still have a whole Zacian. Well, not a whole Zacian. A whole Xerneas. And then the Zacian is loaded up on some energy. And we have close combat, so we're good to go. Now, I'm going to throw the Moonblast there because I don't want to lower my stats yet. Plus, we have the Zacian in the back that's going to be able... That's the one that's going to take out the Snorlax. All right, so we're just kind of wasting time, getting shields here. One more Body Slam will not be enough. And we get to the close combat. I feel like, are they under-tapping almost? They're going to let this go. They know it is a wrap, and we take that win there. So it turned out to be pretty good, right? And we have a Mamoswine. This is a pretty decent lead here for us, as the Zacian does have close combat. So we'll want them to throw first. As soon as I say that, I throw. At this point, we build up to 2, so it doesn't matter. So we're either going to get both shields, 1 shield, or do a ton of damage. And they're double shielding, and it looks like perfect. So I think we're going to shield this up and then swap into Primarina, since we have every Pokemon can handle it. So no problem. So we bring in the Primarina, and they bring in the Rayquaza here. So we're going to go for the Disarming Voice, which is almost going to one-shot it. And again, if we were running with Charm, we would be doing so much more, right? But then we won't be able to take on a lot of other things as well if they had like an Excadrill. All right, so they do have a Kyogre back here. This is okay. Primarina going up against these legendaries is still taking some pretty decent damage coming from resisted moves. Dragon Breath on Dialga, Waterfall on the Kyogre, still really doing a lot. As you can see, they're farming me down. They said, nah, I'm taking you all the way down. Okay, so they've got a ton of energy. I'm thinking about what I should do here. So probably going to go for a Surf. No, Origin Pulse. Great, that's all right. So we swap into the Zacian here, load it up on energy, and we'll let the Surf go. Getting pretty close. Tried to farm them down. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I almost screwed this up here, but we are going to be able to get to the close combat. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to, but we do. I was not, that wasn't a master plan there. Okay, I was improvising at the end, but we pulled that one off. Next battle, Rayquaza. All right, we got a dragon, let's go. Swapping into Mewtwo, and we don't really have an answer to that. So we're just going to stay here and kind of just play it by ear. Letting that first Ice Strike go, going for the Wild Charge. And we don't really need alignment because both of our fairies can take on Rayquaza, although it'd be better for the Xerneas because we do have Waterfall in the Primarina, and they will be able to get to Dragon Ascent eventually. All right, so we swap into this, we farm them down, great. We should be able to get to a Disarming Voice, and it will pretty much take them out here in one shot. And they shield it up. It looks like they're going to farm me down. All right, they're throwing, perfect. You always love to see that happen here. Breaking Swipe, taking me out, not very effective, but enough to KO. They are shieldless at this point, and we're going for the Moonblast. I do believe they just caught. I think they just threw something in here. An Excadrill. That was perfection. That was very good. All right, so we're bringing in the Zacian here with no health, pretty much, so we're just going to let it go. It did have energy, but we're just going to put all of our hope into this with 2 shields. We'll let this one go. The Rayquaza is not going to be able to farm us down with the quick move. It does have energy, I do believe, a little bit, so we have to consider that, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be okay since we still have 2 shields, and sure enough, they do have energy. There you go. And all we have to do is shield this up. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to play any games. We're shielding both of them up. It is what it is. I don't care. Take both of my shields. We're good. Moonblast, and we'll take the win. And we did have that Dragon lead. Very nice. So an all-fairy team. Look, again, I'm just having fun here. Ranks don't matter. Okay? This is a rigged system. It doesn't matter. All right, another Mamoswine lead. Okay, sounds good to me here. Building up to 2. Now, since they're throwing first, we'll let this Avalanche go because we haven't dropped our defense, right? So letting that go. Close combat here. Let's see if they want to shield it up. Yes, they do. Going for another one. They've used their energy at this point. They're almost to the next one, and they're letting it go. Great. So we've debuffed ourselves to the max, and they're bringing in a Kyurem here, which is not even going to be able to Dragon Breath this down at a 4 defense drop. So they're shielding up the close combat and using bolt shields. They do have a decent amount of energy. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Primarina. That's going to be able to resist everything. The Glaciate, which is actually going to do a decent amount and also lower my attack here. While the Waterfall is resisted. So we're just doing less and less. Great. They're swapping. They've got a Rhyperior back here. Are you ready for it? One of the very few times you're going to see me get off a Hydro Pump with the Primarina. Rhyperior goes down. We bring in the Xerneas. They see that and they're like, okay, yeah, that's a wrap. And we take the win with our triple fairy. But hey, you know what? I'm not using Charm, so hey, whatever, right? Okay, next battle we have a mirror match. All right, they're slow to the start here. You know, it doesn't really even matter if there were like a couple of taps behind me. Actually could help them out. But they throw first, and it is a play rough though, so they don't lower their stats. So, okay. Now I go ahead and go for mine. I'm going to just go for both of them right out the gate here. I don't even care. Almost getting to the next one. Think we may want to shield this up because they're not going to be able to take me out with that Snarl, even though I debuff myself by 4 stages. We're still looking okay, and we're getting both shields out of them, which is great. Now we'll let this go. Let's see. Close combat, and perfect. Now we can farm them down with Waterfall, but they are swapping into a Mamoswine, which is even better. We'll go ahead and stay right where we're at. This is definitely going to be an Avalanche. High horsepower. Okay. Shoot. That's all right. We're taking them out. Now, hopefully they don't have a Ho-Oh in the back. If they have a Ho-Oh, it's over. Yeah, there's really nothing I can do. And that's pretty much a wrap. That's why I roll with that. Wild Charge on the Zacian as well as the Waterfall on the Primarina. So we're going to go for this as so we do not debuff ourselves. It's a freaking Ho-Oh in the back. It's a Ho-Oh in the back. What the hell do we do? There's nothing we can do. We lose. It's over. That's a wrap. But we'll put up a fight until the end. So this is what it looks like here when you hit the wall. Alrighty, so shield. Oh, they debuffed themselves. Oh my gosh. No way. Yes, we take the... I couldn't believe it. They debuffed themselves. Let's go. The game said, hit him with the hard counter. Sigalio XL. Oh, so we're up against a Sigalio. Okay. All right, let's have some fun with this here. Iron Head right out the gate. Lovely. So we're going to go ahead and start throwing these wild charges as they're going to do more damage than the close combat because they are going to be part psychic. Going for another one. They're shielding it up. Great. And we've gotten a shield out of them. We're going to go ahead and bring in Primarina to farm them down here. We're going to let this go. We're going to go ahead and call a Psychic Fangs. Hopefully we farm them down. No, they're swapping and bringing in a Dragonite. Building up a little bit of extra energy and then swapping into my Xerneas here. Now, they've seen my whole entire team, so this could be a good thing or a bad thing, but you're going to see it's a very good thing here. So we're going to obviously let all this go. Now we go for the play rough. I hope I undertapped this. Okay, great. Still did too much. I wanted to farm them down and get a little bit more energy, but they back out anyways. And we take the win. And they had a Sigalio in the lead. Are you serious? Oh, okay. Next battle, we're met with a Kyogre. And we do have that Wild Charge. Kyogre is just a pain in the butt to deal with if you're just not a dragon type. That thing is just amazing. So much damage with the quick move, and as well as that Surf. Letting that go, of course, and now we're going to go for the double Wild Charge here. And I would suspect they're going to shield this up and then farm me down if they let it go. That's amazing. All right, they're going to shield it up, farm me down. We'll bring a Primarina here. And they could have Blizzard, right? That could be a Blizzard. So since they've used the shield, we're going to go ahead and do that as well. Thunder would have done a lot. Blizzard would have done a lot too. It's resisted. It's not getting stabbed, but it's still going to do a lot to Primarina. Coming from a Kyogre, and I want to maintain that health. Getting off a Hydro Pump onto the Melmetal. Very rare scene there. And that's exactly what I wanted to see. Alright, now we swap into the Xerneas to kind of absorb this damage here. And, you know, spread it out. They do have a Dragonite in the back. This is looking very good for me. This is a wrap at this point. All I need to do is just make sure I manage the energy correctly. I hope I undertapped correctly this time. Oh, they shielded up. All right, they're using their shield. That's fantastic. Okay, so of course we let that go again. Build up a little bit more energy, and I think now we're going to go ahead and KO them here. We don't really need to, farm them up. And immediately swapping into the Primarina, farm them down. That's a wrap. Thank you for watching, and take care.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!